So for today's English lesson, we're going to be looking at how to develop your questioning skills. Now, if you remember last week, I told you that you're going to have the opportunity to conduct a live interview this week. So this is why it's very important that you can develop your skills for asking the right questions. So today we're going to be looking at a mixture of open questions and closed questions. So, a closed question looks for specific facts and often only requires one-word answers, which can be sometimes as simple as a yes or no. And down here you have some examples of what closed questions are, and I'll explain to you why they're closed. Did you finish your homework? There is only one answer to that question, yes or no. Doesn't require anything else. What time did that happen? 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Simple, short answer. Are you going to buy a drink? Yes, please. No, thank you. Who won the football match? Manchester United. You see how those questions only require really short answers. And it is good when you're doing an interview to have a mixture of open and closed questions, because the advantages of closed questions are that they're good for finding out specific information, as we just saw on the slide before. They can help you make your decision quickly, and they can help you gather more information. So, an open question is kind of like the opposite to a closed question. An open question allows the respondent to develop their ideas without limiting responses or controlling responses. The question often requires more than one word answers. And here are some examples of what an open question might sound like. What do you think would happen if? And depending on what your question is going to be, a question like that is going to require the person you are asking it to think a bit and maybe even tell you their answer in a story, a list of ideas, a list of their thoughts. A response to a question could be, sounds interesting. How does that work? And then you're asking with a question like that, you're requiring them to explain something. And in order to explain something, you need to use more words, you need to use more description, so you're not just getting a very short answer. How do you feel about that? Okay, so yet again, you're requiring someone to discuss how they're feeling. And all these are requiring the person you are asking the question to explain and expand upon what their thoughts are. So remember, when you're asking a mixture of open and closed questions, these are really good ways to get as much information and to keep the person you're asking the question to talking more and giving you more information. The advantages of open questions is they can help you solve problems. They give you more information about this person's feelings and their attitudes, and they can help you get extra information. And that extra information could be something not even related to the question you are asking, but still useful information, especially when it comes to writing up your report. The more information, the more relevant information you can get, because you may not necessarily have thought of some really interesting questions, but they could still get answered if you're asking open questions. So today your task is to write a selection of open and closed questions you would like to ask the Qatar national team goalkeeper coach. Okay. Now, you've been learning a lot about the Qatar national football team, so your questions will allow you to dig deep and find out even more information than perhaps the reporters who asked the questions about the Asian Cup in 2019. You might even find out information that they didn't find out, but it all depends on how you're going to ask your questions. So, today you are going to become a reporter. Like all good reporters, you're going to need to come prepared with your questions. So there are a number of sheets you can use to record your questions down. Support, main, and challenge. So again, think carefully about the types of questions